Average Thailand experience. There's the groundhog. That's what we're shooting at. It's going to be roughly 150 meters. And then the other target should be roughly a little bit over 50 meters. It's going to be about 60 meters away. So my production quality has been going up. However, the wind decided that this time it had to completely destroy all the footage that Operation Pour had that day. And then I used all my training ammo, and I didn't want to use my reserve ammo for crap hits the fan, obviously. So essentially, this footage that I'm dubbing over right now, and I do apologize for that, is about the GripPod. And what I did a test to where you would do 3 shots at a target at 60 meters, and then you would do a combat roll. They look a little bit funny. I haven't done one in a while, and I'm not going to lie, I'm still going to leave it in. But essentially, you would do 3 shots standing on a 60-meter target. You would go down into a combat roll and then deploy a bipod or a shooting sticks or something like that. And then try to hit a groundhog target, which was about 3.5 inches by 8 inches tall. It might have been 9 inches tall. I'm not sure the exact measurement. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. I bought it from Walmart forever ago. But it's a little groundhog target at, I think it was 160 meters right at, which is still a very, very decent shot. But essentially, it wasn't necessarily the accuracy or the speed of these runs. What I wanted to get footage of and everything was just the movement and how fluid it went. And then after I'd done it, I went ahead and, talked to the camera, and I was like, hey, I liked it, I'd recommend it. But all that footage was either destroyed or the wind killed it, and it was not my day-to-day, so I apologize. So while you sit here and look at me in the past, let's go over this. So the GripPod came from the GWA era. It's an integrated bipod system. So it's got a bipod in it. You press a button and it comes down. Otherwise than that, it acts as a vertical foregrip. Some things that I personally like about it is the, you just press a button. You don't have a bipod hanging off the end of your rifle, weighing you down. So it saves on weight. It saves on time. And you'll see that later when I try to deploy the bipod. It's a lot easier just to hit that button and go down into prone or do a combat roll than smack both sides of the bipod down and then go into a roll, or if you're on the ground. It's a lot easier to set up. You just press a button. I mean, I really like that. It seemed like in the early GWA era, if you think of a modern day GPR, that's where a lot of this stuff comes from, is that kind of era of military gear. And to just be honest with you, a lot of it has just been forgotten about. You don't see GripPods anymore. You don't see them. My cousin, he was a Marine. He was in Afghanistan. He has one on his go-to rifle, but that's only because he used one in Afghanistan. You see no one mainstream talking about this thing, and it's kind of a shame because really, it does kick ass. I'm not going to lie. Some things that I went over in this video, or some things that I want to go over. I guess I'm talking all past tense, my bad. If you have a super safety and you get down in a good position and you can, use the leverage of the vertical foregrip and the bipod, kind of work it into your shoulder, it can turn a regular, 16-inch, whatever optic you have into a IAR, or an infantry and automatic rifle, which that's a concept. Typically people use like a 20-inch barrel with a prism optic, but that's not necessarily how it has to be. What this can do, though, it can provide suppressive fire, area fire. It can act as a saw, essentially, with this upgrade. Fairly easy, if I'm being honest. Now, for a more practical outlook on it, because I guarantee you a lot of people just clicked off because of that, even if you didn't have a FRT or a super safety or anything like that, getting a stable shooting platform at the push of a button out without having to fold anything is crazy, guys. Absolutely crazy. And it's a really solid platform that it provides. And the biggest thing I like about it is it's actually taller than a 30 round or a standard capacity magazine in the weapon. So once you mount it and you activate the bipod, like I think I'm about to do it right here. Yep, it comes out. See this? I'm catching back up, so I'm explaining it now. You see how much farther that goes past the magazine? That allows you to be able to get in prone on a flat or semi-flat surface, and you have a really, really good platform right there. I mean, it's perfect size for me. Now, I'm 6'2", I'm kind of lanky naturally, but it's perfect for me. It's the perfect height. I wish I would have bought one of these forever ago. Long story short. Like I said, it came from the GWAT. It's really durable. It's constructed from aerospace materials. Now this one I have, full disclosure, is an Amazon knockoff. Before I went and tried to find a legit one, I wanted to get a knockoff one to make sure I liked it. And honestly, I think I'm going to try to get either another knockoff or a legit one for my SPR concept. I got a new scope and I got some new stuff coming for the SPR. Right here, this is the rifle that we kind of compared it to. I just had sighted it in. This has what you would see in modern day. It has a standard alone grip or vertical foregrip and then a bipod. I've seen a lot of people and a lot of people's SPR builds run this, so it has a bipod separate from the vertical foregrip, but they also run vertical foregrips. Now, you see that little space where my hand is right now? That's kind of a problem, because if you want to get that on a barrier and brace against a barrier using the foregrip, you have to find a barrier that's smaller than that space, otherwise it's not going to work. Now theoretically you could throw the bipod down and brace it up against a barrier that way. However, it's just, you're getting more movement. It's kind of getting to where it's a pain in the ass, to be honest. So like I said, I kind of put that foregrip there. I don't really use it. I prefer a traditional C-clamp than any vertical foregrip or any angle grip. 100% honestly, I prefer a C-clamp above anything else, unless it's something very specific or has a very specific use case. But essentially what we did, and then I'm still going to show this part. We did 3 shots, 60 meters, standing, did a combat roll, and then tried to hit the groundhog. And right here, 4-time prism, monstrum optic, 20-inch barrel. This is the SPR. I'm waiting to get new stuff for it. If you've seen my SPR videos, you know it had a 2 to 10 monstrum on it, but that thing was just not, there was something going on with it. I don't know if it's the rifle, because it did not perform good at all when I went out to shoot it today, even though it was sighted in. I don't know if it's the barrel. I swapped the barrel out myself, so maybe I didn't torque it down as good. I'm not 100%. But on this build right here, yeah, don't be judging it. There's a new optic system and everything. Look out for that. But essentially I had 3 rifles that I went and kind of compared it to. This one has a fin grip, but the main thing here was my bipod system was just tent poles taped together with bungee cord in it, so it gives it a little bit more support in the middle. Check out my budget stick shooting video. I mean, these work really well. But it was also trying to see the speed of it. So later on when I get down and shooting, you're going to see the speed comparatively to the setup. And that's what I was trying to get. Now, to spoil it, the GripPod had the fastest setup time. I didn't have to slap anything down. It was just a push of a button. I didn't have to plant anything into the ground. It was just a push of a button. I think the GripPod excels. I mean, obviously getting shot at is not a good scenario whatsoever. But let's say you have targets close range, right? And you're shooting, and then you notice targets farther away. You know, you clear the threat that's closest to you, and then you notice targets farther away, and you just have to take them out. You can hit the deck really fast and take them out. Here we go. combat roll. Flip. Smacked it. Woo! Beat. Beat. One, two, beat. Plant. Alright, I'm using B-roll from forever ago. This was not a part of the test. I'm just going to make this quick and then we're going to finish. So, as you could tell, it seemed like the GripPod did a little bit better. It was just a little bit more quick on the draw. So, you're taking contact, say 50, 60 meters away, or let's say even you're clearing a house or a room where you're in a really congested area in the forest, and then you come up to a field opening or you come outside of the house that you're clearing. We're running two different scenarios here, but essentially you're in a closed, confined space where you're taking contact really close, where standing, maybe kneeling would be efficient. And then as soon as you notice something off the walls or you take care of that threat and you know you're safe, and then you start taking rounds from farther away, instant platform, you can instantly get low to the ground. I like that. Or even if you're not taking fire real close and you start getting bullets whizzing by, the Army will teach you, if you've ever been in the U.S. military, the first thing that you need to do besides start shooting back in the general direction is hit the deck, because you become a much harder target to hit. So seek cover and concealment, but if you're ever in an open area, you need to hit the deck. So just having the ability to just hit a button and it come out like that. You don't have it hanging off the side 24/7 like a bipod, or out the front. You don't have all that extra weight. This thing is super light. No, like I said, it's the knockoff version I bought, but I'd say it's about the same. It's super light, only a couple ounces. It works well and it's solid. I don't know what else to say. If you are at IAR, that is kind of your role in your Minuteman group. I mean, I don't promote no militia activity. I'm not legally responsible for what you do. But you're a big boy or girl. You make your own decisions. What I'm trying to say here is bring GripPods back. I mean, the thing is awesome. I don't think I'm ever going to get a just standard bipod again unless it's like for a hunting rifle. Like, I really enjoyed it. I think if you do have a FRT, I think it makes it a lot better than having a standalone vertical foregrip and a bipod. And then let's say that you don't even want to run a bipod, because a lot of people don't. They don't like it. And honestly, I don't like it either. It just gets in the way. It gets caught on gear. And just finding an alternative, something that's compact and just loads back up into the vertical foregrip itself, is awesome. I mean, it's just, a lot of this gear and a lot of the modern GPR, the general purpose rifles that you see nowadays, like when you look at them, all that really came from the GWAT era. Even the SBRs, all that really came from the GWAT, and then even the 90s, Desert Storm, stuff like that, early 2000s. What we have now is a direct lineage to that. And yes, it has evolved, but in a way, I feel like it has regressed. Your rifle setups do not need to be technological achievements. And I feel like on YouTube, you just see a lot of that thrown around. Now, if you want to specialize and make one specialize, like you do want a SBR to go out to 600 yards or meters, then yes, of course you want this, you want that, you want high magnification, whatever. But for a general go-to-war rifle setup, it doesn't need to be that hard. People overthink it so bad. It's just look at your terrain, your local terrain, because in a guerrilla war, you're never going to be going past 10 or 20 miles away from your house or wherever you plan to go during a crap hits the fan scenario. And build your rifle to your terrain. If you live in very thick jungle forest, a 10.5 AR pistol will probably be the way to go, or at least a 16-inch. I probably wouldn't rock a 20-inch AR 15 when you can't see 25 meters in any direction. Same thing with if you live in the open desert, I probably wouldn't have a 10.5 AR pistol. I'd probably have a 20-incher because you can see for miles. So it's just something to think about. I know we kind of got off track here, but hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. We're going to get back to shooting. My thoughts on the GripPod. 100% love it. Love the GripPod. You're going to see it a lot more. You're going to see it on more of my builds. And I'm actually trying to consolidate and just run one solid build. And I really want to try to head my training into one direction. And I know you probably, long-time viewers would never think I'd say that, but I think I'm pretty much done with all these different concepts. I think I'm just going to run with one, maybe two solid ones, and I'm just going to run with it personally because I keep dumping money on stuff that, well, money I don't have. Credit card debt is real. So, God bless you guys. Au revoir. Au bientôt. See you next time on the mountain. Enjoy the rest of this little GripPod montage.